Pero
nakaraan. But it's
post-pandemic
good
naman,
to
no?
see you.
Oh, nice to see you too. And
Yes.
ang naalala ko kasi was the first time that we met. Actually, hindi
Mhm.
ko maalala yung specific day and kung
Mm.
ano nangyari noon, but I know that it was in 2005.
Yes, 20 years ago. Mhm,
Mm.
mm.
So, bago yung punta ako nandito, I mean, pumunta na ako dito sa Qatar
Mhm.
noon, but I was still studying.
Mhm.
Pero that was the time that I went here for good. And you also
Yes,
went here para makasama naman si Kuya Edwin, your husband.
Yes, oo.
So, ang kasama mo noon, si Bea, right?
Oo,
Your daughter.
she was 6 years old back
Mhm.
then.
But ano yung naging desisyon na talagang sumunod agad kayo dito? Kasi parang few months lang yata.
Oo. Actually, hindi namin alam na pwede pala kaming sumunod. Umalis
Okay.
siya ng Pilipinas, not even knowing na Qatar is in the map. So ayun, nag-Qatar siya, not knowing pwede pala magdala ng pamilya. So 8 months after he left, nakasunod kami. Nakasunod kami agad. And dahil na din yun sa pangungulit niya, sa company niya.
Pero personally, syempre meron ka ding career sa Philippines. You're a doctor of optometry. Tapos aalis ka, iwan mo yung career mo without knowing, papapractice ko pa ba to sa Qatar?
Oo,
So,
totoo.
was that a difficult decision to make?
Not really kasi yung clinical practice ko natigil naman na.
Okay.
I was more into technical side of it. I was an educator. Bago pa lang nun yung disposable contact lenses.
I see, okay.
So ako yung mga umiikot sa mga doctors, sa mga schools, to educate practitioners.
Okay.
Ayun. So pagdating ko dito, nasa medical field din naman ako, pero napunta ako sa sales.
I see. Eventually na yon, later on in your career. But did it help you yung pagpunta dito sa Qatar? Kasi di ba few years before that, this was in 2001, you lost your mom.
Yes, oo. Mahirap din. Unang-una, malaki ang influence ng mother ko sa akin. She was a doctor also. Kaya din ako naging nalinya doon sa ganong profession. And I'm the eldest of 4. Being an eldest child, mahirap talaga. I was with her throughout her journey talaga.
Including the time na nagkasakit siya?
Yes. I was a young mother also. I was 39. I was 39, yes. Ay, no. Bea was 4 years old pala nung nangyari yun.
Okay. And your mom was diagnosed with what kind of
Hers
illness?
was ovarian cancer.
Okay.
Advanced stage.
Advanced stage.
So, nung na-diagnose siya, tuloy-tuloy na kami sa ospital.
Okay.
She was never hospitalized. I couldn't remember a time from childhood hanggang nagkaasawa ako na na-hospitalized siya. So, nung na-hospitalize siya, dire-diretso na.
So
And I was a young mother din.
And she was young then, noong 2001, di ba? Kumbaga bata pa. And so pumunta kayo dito, somehow medyo nakatulong siguro no, kasi naiba yung environment.
Oo.
But 5 years after, you also had your own.
Yes. It
Can you
happened
tell us,
here. It happened
more
here.
about-
Actually, it was 20, yes, correct. That was 2010. Exactly 10 years after she passed away. So it happened here. I guess it was one of the reasons din kaya ako napunta dito was having that kind of illness here was easier. I was with my family, I was with my husband, I was with my daughter. That's the most important thing.
So just to clarify, you were diagnosed with what kind of disease? Or
Breast cancer. Breast
Okay.
cancer, yes.
So during that time na binigay yung diagnosis, can you walk us through that particular time? Ano yung sinabi sa'yo?
I couldn't remember exactly because that was all vague now. Masyado siyang parang every time I recall yung day na yon, hindi ko talaga exactly malaman. Matandaan, I mean. But ang matandaan ko lang really I was devastated. Parang I know I have to go through what my mom went through. Nakita ko day in and day out. And yun yung naging naging
Was
fear
it mostly
ko.
fear? Yun nga.
Yes, of course. Of course. More than para sa akin is for my family.
Yeah. So, sino kasama mo nung sinabi sa'yo ng doktor?
Of course, my husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
What was the feeling that he had na na-share niya sa'yo?
Knowing Edwin, you know your Kuya Edwin also, hindi mo naman siya mariringgan ng kahit anong salita mo na. It's more than, the emotion na nakita ko sa kanya as first as my husband. Syempre, siguro kung devastated ako, mas devastated siya. Pero he was strong for me. I know that. And I remember, ang pinaka-naalala ko, yung tinanong mo kanina, actually sa hospital hindi ko masyadong maalala Pero ang naaalala ko is the night of nung na-diagnose ako, we went to Corniche. Hindi pa ganun yung area na yun. But there was a big vacant or parking lot there. And inaya niya ako doon and si Bea. We were planning to tell Bea na that time what really happened. Although she was young.
She was preteen. Parang
she
or
was,
teenager na.
yes. She was actually 9, grade 4, grade 5. So,
But of course, you eventually have to tell her.
yes, of course. Ayaw namin magtago.
Yeah. So, what was the reaction of Bea when you told her about that? Knowing na yung grandmother niya,
Yes.
passed away with the same diagnosis that you have.
Sa kanya kasi hindi namin kagad sinabi sa kanya na I have cancer. Parang, yes, I have, pero ito yung gagawin. Yun yung sinabi namin sa kanya. So, isa lang ang response niya. If you need to go through surgery, mama, kung kailangan mong operahan, pa-opera. If God wills that you get healed right away, then you tell people that you're healed na. That's it. So, ganun lang naman. If it's instant, that's good. If it's a journey, a healing journey, then go through it.
But I'm
Ganun
sure
siya.
nakikita niya yung hardship and yung challenges. Kasi even myself, there was one time, hindi ko nakakwento sa ito. Lapit ako naiyak.
It's okay.
Nakita kita papasok ng CR or pabalik yata ng kwarto. You were walking very slowly. Nakahawak sa wall. And during that time, I think si Kuya Edwin nasa work. So, at the back of my mind, syempre iniisip ko, ang hirap ng ganun.
Yeah. Yun din yung kanina iniisip ko, kanina on the way here. Anong isasagot ko if Raymond asks, ano yung pakiramdam? Ang isa lang naisip ko, and nakita kita ngayon, mahirap talaga. Mahirap talaga, pero kinaya. Pero I would like to say, and I know a lot of people who are going through this, who are going through what I went through, laging sinasabi namin yan Mahirap, pero kinaya. But one thing I really want to emphasize is hindi namin kakayanin if not for people around us.
Parang ako yung hindi ko kinakaya.
Caring for us.
Ako ba yung naiiyak?
Ayan.
Hindi kasi nakita ko yung journey of your family on these challenges that you've had. So how long was the treatment?
The treatment, naglast siya for a year or 2. By the way, baka nagtataka yung mga tao, no?
Yeah.
Raymond is a very good friend of our family. His papa, his mama, his sister are like ours na we lived in the same house for how many years din. Kaya siguro yon nakita niya and he was very affected.
Tahimik lang ako din pero nag-observe.
Oo. So ayun, mahirap talaga pero kinaya. And yes, if not for my faith in God, the people around us, the people who helped, and just, alam mo yon yung tatayo ka talaga. Tatayo ka, hirap ka man, kumapit. Yun, literal. Kapit lang.
Yeah. But
Kapit lang.
did it also help that it happened while you're here in Qatar?
Yes,
with the healthcare
definitely.
system that we have here?
Definitely. Nakita ko yung journey ng mom ko sa Pilipinas. And it
Grabe ang
is a
gastos,
sad
diba?
truth. And not just the gastos mo, yung nakita ko how the patient family education really matters.
Okay.
Kasi dito talaga, yun ang nakita namin. It's not just the patient who goes through the journey. It has to be with the family.
With the family.
Katulad ko noon, just a short, naalala ko, pag nagkikimo ang mom ko, ang importante sa akin, mapakain ko siya, right? Alam kong lutuin, tortang tuna. So I would always cook lang tortang tuna, not knowing that could trigger pala the kasi it's mamantika, ma-oil siya, ganyan. And dito talagang yan.
They provide you with all the information
everything,
na kailangan.
everything. The day-to-day, hindi lang yung pag nasa hospital or during treatment, but the day-to-day activities talaga.
Okay. And I also remember, parang meron pa nga yatang mga pinapadala sa ibang bansa ng mga sample of your tests.
Oo. Nangyari din yun sa akin. I was working kasi nagtatrabaho ko noon. I did not stop. I did not stop working. Siguro it's a way din na para may iba akong pinagkakaabalahan. And I just told my company and my manager was very concerned. Pinatawag niya ako. And I told him, if I'm here, then I'm willing to work. And then I'll tell you if I can't. Because during chemotherapy, there is always 4 days downtime. So yan, hindi ka talaga makakabangon and all. But I told them, if I'm here to work. Sabi ko, isa yan sa ko. So, if I'm here in the office, then...
So tuloy-tuloy pa rin kumbaga yung buhay. Kumbaga walang matitigil sa activities except for a few days wherein you are having the therapy, no? So, for 1.5 years, ganoon, what happened nung nalaman mo na, okay na? Or ano yung test muna siguro? Tapos sinabi sa'yo na okay na, wala na.
Actually, ang focus ko din is, ano ang gagawin ko habang nandun ako. Magandang isipin na, yes, tapos na. Gusto ko yung looking forward ako doon. Pero, syempre, kailangan may daanan ako di ba? What I can clearly remember that time is, kailangan maging present lang ako din sa lahat ng araw-araw na ginagawa namin. Si Edwin, nagsabi siya sa akin na he wants to take the board exam here.
Okay.
So, hinayaan ko siya. Sige lang, para lang wag masyadong sa akin.
Yeah.
And then si Bea, tuloy-tuloy din sa pag-aaral. I was not expecting that she will still excel. Kasi she is nasa pilot section siya noon. So, it's very challenging to have a mom in the hospital and at the same time, kailangan niyang mag-cope sa school. So, ayun, naka-cope naman siya, nagtuloy-tuloy din lang. And as for me, nasa bahay ako noon, I long to be with my family too, immediate family in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So doon ako tumingin, what will I do? Pagkatas ko ng treatment, I plan the travel, ganyan, pag dumating ako doon. And one thing I remember is, nag-process ako kasi my grandmother is in the US. So, hirap man ako during the treatment. Ayan, ginawa ko, nag-process ako nung visa naming family going to the US. And very timely, after the treatment, nakauwi kami ng Pilipinas. They were surprised. May buhok na ako nung umuwi ako. Hindi ako masyadong nagbigay. Siguro one thing that I've learned din is, maging considerate din sa families natin in the Philippines. Not everything they have to know, lahat ng miserableng nangyayari sa'yo. Importante makauwi ka na makasama ka nila ulit.
Okay.
Ayan.
So, umuwi ka, and then nakapag-travel na din kayo sa US. So, would it be safe to say that your mind view in life changed after that?
100%.
How?
100%.
What are those changes that you've...
Siguro
or what are the realizations that you've had?
I was really working so hard that time. Not because that I wanted to, but yung field na napasukan ko dito, I was working with the oil and gas industry that time, and I was in procurement. So procurement is a very high demanding field, yes. So I stayed sa work from 6 a.m. to even past 7 p.m. Pag-uwi sa bahay, trabaho pa rin. And I guess siguro lahat tayong mga OFWs may tendency because we're here to work, no?
Yeah.
We're here to work, and we have a family din na nag-aasa din. Not exactly umaasa, pero expectation. Expectation. So yun ang one learning. Yung trabaho talaga na...
And then that's one, and there's another one for sure.
Which is...
I don't know, any other learnings na parang kumbaga napasobrang trabaho. So, are there any other realizations after na masabi na okay na, cleared na of...
that you really have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You have to really take care of yourself. This nation has a very excellent healthcare service, I must say. Up until now, they are monitoring, but may responsibility. I guess siguro doon pumasok yung we're very conscious na of our health. We walk, we play badminton. And kahit paano sa pagkain. Ayan. So dito naman we're blessed with good food, 'di ba? So ayan, accessible sa atin. Ayan.
So which year again yung nasabi sa'yo na yes, you're cancer free?
Actually the first one.
Yeah.
The first one was 2 years after, and then
So mga 2012 or 2013.
Right after the treatment naman, clear na nila ako. And then year after year, there are monitoring procedures, tests, ganyan. And it confirms na okay naman na lahat. So not until,
Yeah. So that was 2012, 2013. You were cleared of cancer, and then because of that journey, you've realized that you've been doing a lot of work and that there are other things that you want to focus on, katulad makasama yung pamilya sa Pilipinas, yung sa US, and you wanted to have a better lifestyle, diba? Pati pagkain, mga exercises, sports, you ventured into that. But, as the years went by, something happened again in 2021. Can you tell us about that?
First, it was pandemic. We went through all that, right? We were in the Philippines back then, na-lockdown kami doon. And then to make the long story short, nakabalik naman kami, nag-open na ulit. Then came 2021 na nga. And I got vaccinated. I was among the first batch here because we were prioritized dahil compromised kami. So December 25, I remember that clearly na naka-receive na ako ng text from Hamada. I will be among the first batch na makaka-receive ng vaccine.
So this is December 25, 2020.
So very happy na, ganyan. And then we kami, 'di ba, na-infect kami, and then we got vaccinated. And then after the vaccination happened, I felt something naman, a lump naman dito. So I think sabi ko, dito sa side, right side. So I was thinking baka effect ng ng vaccination kasi nga bago siya. And then I had myself tested right away, and they were thinking also, actually, the doctors, the practitioners, they were thinking, because there were many cases na nagre-report sa amin, ganyan. So they ordered ultrasound, everything, only to find out that there's nothing wrong with this but here.
Oh.
So they found that you have a suspicious lump on your thyroid. So since it was pandemic, ang bilis ng pangyayari. And yes, I got diagnosed again for the second time that it was cancer again.
Okay. So how did it feel na sinasabi sa'yo ng doktor, you have cancer again?
Actually, the doctor that day, kinutuban na ako because I had an appointment. My appointment was scheduled 3 o'clock. They were calling me as early as 10 o'clock to come right away to the hospital. And when I came to the hospital, I called Edwin because normally I would just go by myself. Kasi protocol naman, lagi lang ganyan. But this time, I felt something because the call was quite of urgent. So sabi ko kay Edwin, kailangan ko ng kasama, samahan mo ko. And then only to find out nung pagdating din doon that the department head of the head and neck surgery department of Hamad
They were there.
was talking to me.
Oh, okay.
He was the one who explained to me. And
Kung ano yung nakita nila.
and we couldn't delay anymore. We have to they were telling me we have to schedule you right away for surgery. That was pandemic.
Okay. Yes,
That was
which is a very
pandemic.
challenging time for everyone.
Yes,
Plus the
yes.
fact that you have this second cancer.
Yes.
So, gusto ko malaman kung how did you accept that particular diagnosis, considering that during the first one, you've won it, you've claimed that you've won it, and you were able to get that healing, di ba? You were healed, completely healed. Sinabi, wala na, di ba?
Wala na.
And then, few years after, even after spending time na alagaan yung sarili, kumain ng mas healthy, mag-exercise and all, you are now placed in in a second situation, as sabi sa'yo, cancer.
Yes.
Was it more difficult? Or parang, kaya ko ulit to. Pangalawa na, kaya ko naman na ulit to. Or was it more challenging?
You know what, Mo? The way you said it, yung mga first few sentences mo, statement, but that's exactly how I felt. And that's exactly how I was telling the doctor, again. So, does it has something to do with my breast cancer before? And Edwin was there. And he said, wala na yun. Tapos na yun. And true enough, the doctor said, it has nothing to do with your breast cancer.
So it's not some sort of like remission? Kasi yung iba-
Recurrence or remission, no, it has not. It has
So
not.
they are not connected with each other.
And the doctor himself, he was Qatari. He is a Qatari and the head of the department. And he told me that, God loves you. He was the one who told me that. God loves you because this kind of illness, normally, it is diagnosed during advanced stage. But with you, nakita ng maaga.
Okay.
Nakita ng maaga. So we're here to do everything that has to be done immediately. So, he was doing this, everything sa computer, ganyan. So, in 1 week's time, you'll get operated. Parang kami, hindi pa kami nakaka-uwi. Parang, ang bilis, ang bilis. Pero, yeah, that's how God moves, I think, sa mga ganong sitwasyon.
But by then, 2021, of course, malaki na si Bea.
Yes, yes.
At nag-work na ba siya?
Nag-work na siya.
lang,
Pero
ano?
dito pa yun.
Dito sa Qatar.
Dito pa sa Doha
So,
yun.
how did she take it again for the second time? And also, Kuya Edwin.
Sila siguro, sanay. Hindi, sanay in a way na siguro alam na namin
Kung anong gagawin?
kung anong gagawin ulit. And Bea, she was grade 4 the first time. And etong nangyari na to, she's an adult na. So,
As
ayan.
Korean na nag-work.
Oo, andun
Nagko-Korean
na siya. Oo, ayun.
So, kumbaga, it was, I guess, from what I'm understanding, parang medyo hindi na nahirapan na alamin yung mga bagong dapat alamin. Kasi from the first case that you've had, parang maraming natutunan na.
Yes.
And na-apply pa din nung sumunod yung mga natutunan. So how long did it take bago ka ulit na clear of this second cancer?
Mabilis lang kasi after the surgery, they had to do the pathology exam. That is, what do you call this? Parang nagbabiopsy sila. Chine-check na nila. And then, from then, nalaman nila kung ano yung dapat gawin.
Right.
And here kasi, ang maganda dito sa Qatar, they keep on improving. Parang nag-a-adapt sila sa technology, lahat na ginagawa nila. Nakita ko kasi yung progress. Nakita ko yung progress
from 2011
From
or 2010 or 2011?
Hindi lang sa akin, kundi yung talagang sa healthcare nila. They never stop.
Yeah, I mean, every year, bumabalik ka sa kanila for tests and stuff.
Every month,
okay.
andun ako. So nakita ko talaga how they pursue.
Yeah.
They pursue talaga na ma-improve yung healthcare. And yes, they evolve talaga. Mabilis yung pangyayari. And I did, because one important thing about cancer is the early detection. So dahil early detected siya, nagawan agad.
Medyo mabilis na.
Nagawan agad. Yes. So the good news was, hindi na ako kailangan mag-chemotherapy, hindi na ako kailangan mag-radiation therapy because nakuha nila yung yung cancer right away without affecting the surrounding area. Na-contain nila, in short.
And of course, nung sinabi na you're not going to undergo through those treatments, and sinabi na okay na, again you are healed, what was the reaction?
Syempre.
Your reaction and your family?
We're very happy. Again, siguro dahil nakita namin na pwedeng maulit yung mga ganitong bagay. Pero kung ano yung ginawa nagawa nito noon, pwedeng gawin ulit and even better pa. Marami ka pang pwedeng matutunan. And one thing that I've learned too is, hindi mo gaano man ingat mo sa buhay.
Right.
Pero kung ang buhay meron talagang binabato sa'yo, kailangan mo talagang harapin.
Exactly. And what I can sense from sa pag-uusap natin kanina and yung mga nakita ko dati and the testimony that you've had elsewhere was that you practiced you were very resilient. And you continued on the journey having that particular faith that I'm going to be healed. And in these 2 occasions that you've had cancer and you won in both battles, what we can see is a miracle or are miracles.
Yeah.
Diba?
Definitely.
So how do you feel every time you remember about that? That you've won these 2 battles. Napakalaki din.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very confident na I won, but hindi pa rin aalis sa isipan ko that merong mga tao na lumalaban pa.
Exactly.
Lumalaban pa. Dito ako sa part na to naiiyak.
Bakit?
Just recently, because it's been my hindi ko naman sinasadya, pero dahil merong mga bagay na, halimbawa, monthly, may mga check-ups ako, I'm always taking the opportunity to talk to people around.
I see, okay.
So, may mga lumalapit sa akin na pag-pray, to reach out to this person because they're going through the same sickness or illness. And just recently, meron akong, just before Christmas and New Year, may pinupunta-puntahan ako. And ito yung nakakaano talaga, dumating siya na advanced stage siya. Because she was resisting and she was avoiding to be diagnosed. Alam niya may sakit na siya. Why? Because sabi niya, pag na-diagnose ako, patitigilin ako magtrabaho. Pag na-diagnose ako, hindi ako sisweldo. Pag ginamot ako dito, yes, free, pero ang sweldo ko, anong ipapadala ko sa pamilya ko?
Right.
And I was with her Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
Christmas Eve. And salamat siya ng salamat. And then when I was about to go home, because it was Christmas Eve, no? Nakasalubong ko yung medical team niya. Hindi ko natiis, sumunod ako. Bumalik ako. And the doctor told me, yung head na congested niya yung lungs niya. She might not make it through the new year. Sobrang, alam mo yun, hindi ko alam kung paano ko aalis. Pero hinag ko na lang siya. And sure enough, hindi na siya umabot ng New Year. So, dun sa mga bagay na ganun, yun na lang yung pinapagpasalamat ko talaga. And my journey is different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a miracle for me, but somebody else is going through that journey. And gusto ko lang magamit yun. Magamit yun. Kung hanggang saan nila pwedeng magamit na point in life nila. Kung malagpasan nila, then well and good. Kung hindi man, at least I did my part na nasa tabi nila ako.
Yeah. So ano yung masasabi mo dun sa mga tao who are currently undergoing their own personal battles, whether that's health or something else, and they are losing hope right now?
Seek help. First, you call on your Creator because He knows everything. God knows everything. Even the things you do not know yourself, God knows. So, sa Kanya ka muna tumakbo. And then, it's always helpful to seek the help of others too. Huwag natin sarilinin.
Yeah.
Yung kagaya nga nung sinabi ko, di ba, mahirap, kinaya ko, pero hindi lang ako yon.
Actually, lalo na sa mga OFWs. Kasi
Yes.
parang feeling natin, parang ako yung mag-a-abroad, ako yung kakargo sa lahat ng mga
correct.
concerns or challenges ng pamilya. So, dapat hindi ako panghinaan. Hindi ako dapat yung lalapit sa kapamilya ko para humingi ng tulong. But I'm the one who's going to offer them, I will provide for them.
Yes,
And hindi ako
yes.
dapat maging mahina. So parang ganun yung yung sinasabi that even if you are an OFW and you have that kind of mindset, parang dapat pa rin inaano natin sa sarili natin, tinatanggap natin sa sarili natin that sometimes we still need yung tulong ng ibang tao.
Yes, yes. And it's not always financial or monetary, no. Emotional support, spiritual support, malaking bagay. And ako naman, gaya nung na-mention ko kanina, no, with regards to our family, ang ginawa ko kasi sa kanila nung natanggap ko yung news, natanggap namin, hindi ako tumawag agad sa kanila. I have cancer, I was diagnosed with cancer, ganyan-ganyan. So I waited muna. Inalam ko muna, namin kung anong gagawin. Kasi imagine, if I called them right then and there, I have cancer, anong binigay ko sa kanila? Alalahanin lang. Diba? Without knowing pa kung anong mangyayari. So what we did is inalam muna namin, naoperahan na ako actually, kasi pagka-opera, saka pa lang sasabihin sa'yo yung treatment plan mo, ilalatag sa'yo, ito yung diagnosis mo, dun pa lang malalaman yung stage. Hindi kasi nalalaman ng stage agad eh. After the surgery, dun pa lang, after the pathology report, ito yung magiging treatment plan mo. Dun na namin sinabi.
Okay. Ano bang stage yung sa first one? Anong stage?
Stage 2A.
2A, okay.
Stage 2A.
And then the last one, yung pangalawa?
Stage 1.
Stage 1.
Stage 1. Early detection.
So,
both are early detection. Pero both are aggressive. It is in my genes na aggressive
your
siya.
mom. So, nabanggit mo yung about the support of the family that you've had. What can you tell the people na may pinagdadaanan din yung may sakit o may pinagdadaanan yung kapamilya nila? Paano nila susuportahan nyo? Kasi like ako, medyo heavy sa akin tong topic today. Kasi 2 days ago, my aunt was rushed to ER because of liver cirrhosis and gallbladder concerns. And then yesterday, my cousin has been in the hospital then, comatose because of stroke. So
sorry.
of course, it's very hard to everyone in the family. So, what is the message that you would want to share dun sa mga kapamilya on how they can be that support para dun sa may pinagdadaan ng sakit?
I guess for me, nakita ko dun sa asawa at sa anak ko. Be there lang. Be present lang. The same way that you are there every day. That's enough eh. Pag humingi ng tulong, kasi case-to-case basis, like, depende sa personality nung may sakit din eh. Merong may sakit na, merong time, may stage siya na pabebe. Sabihin na natin ganun, for the lack of the better term, no? Pabebe, kasi may iniin na talaga yan. Masakit talaga kung masakit. So, tanungin mo. Ako nun, parang, pag lumalapit ako, remember, naalala mo, Sister Andrea, Nay Andrea.
Okay.
Sabi ko, Nay, kailangan ko mag-injection araw-araw. Kailangan kong may inject sa akin. Imbes na pumunta ako sa hospital, can you do it? Ikaw na lang gumawa sa akin. Pero na-appreciate ko naman yung honesty niya kasi sabi niya, magagawa ko sa iba, pero sa'yo hindi ko kaya. So, ang ibig kong sabihin doon is be honest with your loved ones of your needs. Huwag mo silang pahulain kung ano yung kailangan mo. Pag sinabi kong masakit, masakit. Huwag kayong lalapit. Huwag kayo kasi kahit kumot lang, dumampi sa katawan ko masakit. There was a time sa Edwin ganun, hindi na siya natutulog. Pag tulog na ako, kahit umupo sa bed, hindi na niya gagawin. Kasi yung galaw lang ng bed, masasaktan na ako. So be sensitive. Be sensitive of more on the physical pain kasi. Pag pasyente ka. Yung emotional, second na yan lang Dumaan ako doon. Stages nga kasi yan. So there was a stage na masakit talaga. Ayoko kumain, ayoko nagmamakaawa. Si Kuya Edwin mo para kumain ako. So, yun lang, be present, be sensitive of the needs, and yung tanungin mo, ano yung gusto mo, anong gusto mong kainin, hindi mo papakainin ng papakainin, kung hindi mo nga makain, di ba? So, tanungin mo, anong gustong kainin, ganon. Mga simpleng bagay na yung, kasi doon mo malalaman talaga yung sincerity ng care, ng love, in the simplest things, daily basis. Hindi yung, alam mo yun, mapakita mo lang malaking, sa malalaking bagay, hindi. Because it's a long journey. Sickness is a long journey.
Just being present is already, ang laking tulong na nun. But of course, having to go through this journey, there may have been instances that you have asked yourself, ano yung rason kung bakit nangyari sa akin to. And now that you have won against cancer twice, what do you feel is the purpose and why you had to go through that?
I think the purpose is always, it's higher than you have thought na purpose nun. Kasi hindi ko maisip nagdadasal ako, Lord, ano ba? Anong purpose nito? Pinakita mo sa akin nung nangyari sa mom ko. Ibig mo sabihin, kailangan daanan yun.
Did you question God during that time?
Question, hindi kasi, sa akin kasi magkaiba yun, Mon.
Or asking?
Yes. Questioning is different from asking. Yes, I have so many questions. And most of it, hindi naman nasagot agad. So, ang na-realize ko lang, okay. So be it.
And now, those answers have been revealed to you. Kumbaga, naging malinaw na yung reasons, kung ano yung purpose, bakit nangyari yun.
It's not for me. It's not for me. Yes, I've become a stronger person. Yes, I appreciate life more than before. Pero purpose is not all about us. It's not all about me. It's about the people around me. Not just family, not just friends, but all the people who's going through the same journey. And and this platform really helps, no? Kasi yung iba hindi pa nila, wala pa sila doon. But sooner or later, andun. Ayaw nating magkasakit, pero nangyayari. Diba? So, that is the purpose. Maybe, in the future, I may not be here, but this episode will be there. Diba? In the World Wide Web.
It will be.
And I hope it will inspire and encourage people na magdadaan sa ganon.
How did your faith help you in terms of going through all this?
You know, Mon, I remember filling up the form that you sent me, no? And I did not mention this kasi talaga nawala sa isip ko. And then I was telling Edwin kanina, naalala ko yung exact word na binigay sa akin during the second diagnosis when I was completely healed na and was confirmed na, no? And, you know, and very timely din na napanood ko yung episode mo, yung short video actually, what sinag is all about, no? And you know what the word is? Sabi doon, kasi sickness, you cannot save yourself from sickness. God, the Supreme Being, can only save us from sickness. Even the highest medical technology, the most modern procedures cannot save you. Only God, the one who created you. And you know what the word is? Sabi niya doon sa word niya, my saving power will rise on you like the sun. Wow. And the healing that comes from me will be like a shining rays that will come to you. So sabi ko, very timely. I did not know that I will be here seated today with you. But yes, that is the message that our audience will, I hope, will remember.
Actually, ang last question ko sana is about sinag. It's more of a general question. Pero na-mention mo na kanina about light. But siguro on a more general perspective, how do you think should people shine? In everyday simple tasks. Paano tayo magbibigay sinag? In simple ways, every day. Kasi your story is talagang massive yung the inspiration.
Is it?
Well, for many people who are undergoing through that. And
sometimes,
halos lahat nakaka-relate kasi may pamilya tayo, mahal tayo sa buhay na nakaranas nun. So, that's a big instance that had happened in your life. Pero in simple ways kasi we can, bring out that light, that shine. So, para sa'yo, paano natin mapapakita yung sinag sa mga simpleng bagay kada araw?
Give hope to everyone in simple and great things, Naalala ko lang kami wherever we go, especially ako, except for the weather, di ba pag nagta-travel tayo, check natin yung weather kung saan tayo magpupunta. Kami kasi we are lovers of sunrise and sunsets talaga. So, inaalam namin kung anong oras yung sunset, kung ano yung oras yung sunrise, ganyan. Why? Because yung rays ng sun na yan, whether it's sunset, or it's sunrise, pwedeng isipin na lang natin na yung sinag na yan ng sunset signifies hope. Ayan, na whatever na nangyari dun sa araw na yon, nakita mo yung beautiful sunset na yun, or even sometimes wala because the weather is not so nice, not so good. Diba? Pero may konti yan eh. Yeah. May konting sinag yan kahit anong mangyari. So we should always give hope. Yeah. Maging mag-shine tayo by giving hope to others. And yun, every sunrise naman promises healing. Healing naman is not physical only, diba? It's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual.
Yeah.
So, when there's hope, there's healing. So, i-ano lang natin yan. Laging, sabihin ko nga, maglakad ako dyan. Hindi ko naman pwedeng sabihin na, I'm healed. But, I should demonstrate it I should demonstrate it. And yung sinag na sinasabi mo, napakaraming paraan. Kindness is one, being sensitive of the other's needs. Ayan. Again, in simple ways. Hindi naman kailangan malaking bagay.
And actually, even in just smiling to someone, diba kung may pinagdadaanan yun, nginitian mo, gumaan yung araw niya.
Totoo.
So anyway, thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this has been, paano ko ba sasabihin? Pinangarap ko kasi to.
I know.
Even before magkaroon ng Sinag Spotlight, sabi ko, kung magkakaroon kaya ako ng talk show, sino kaya yung mga i-guest ko? And your name is always at the top. sabi ko, kailangan ko siyang ma-interview. And thank you. Medyo ako yung kinabahan nga eh. Ako pa yung naging emotional kanina. But thank you for joining us. And I do hope na mas ma-inspire mo pa ang mas maraming tao. Dito sa Sinag,
We shine brighter together.